give a challenge to young journalists for them to learn more, especially on the ethical way of reporting. That's why when we had the opportunity to have a investigative journalism training in Australia under the auspices of Australian Aid and the Melbourne University Private, we were able to increase also our knowledge on the real, how to cover the real activities, what does an investigative reporting should do, what will you report. We learn also from that training in Australian University and University of Technology, Sydney. So we are just happy to share with you what we have also undergone. And so to start with, we start with what is investigative journalism. Investigative journalism is in-depth, not just ordinary news, but an in-depth reporting, finding issues, writing and presenting news supported with facts from reliable sources. See, remember that, reliable sources. Hindi yung he or CJ, sabi ko rin kanina, reliable dapat. Asahan ba na ito? They're reliable. Do we know them? What are their traits? And journalism also, the basic journalism, have two primary types before itong modern natin. The two types or primary types of journalism is print and broadcast. When we say print journalism, it refers to newspapers, magazines, newsletters, and other printed publications. It is a traditional form of media where information is delivered through written articles. So these articles are often divided and different sections into different sections, such as news, sports, entertainment, and opinion, business, stories, advertisements. Diba? Kasama yan. In broadcast journalism, on the other hand, it involves the delivery of news and information through television and radio. With the addition of technology, broadcast journalism now has expanded and included cable news channels and online streaming services. So these platforms present a 24-hour news coverage, and they allow viewers to stay updated with current or very recent events. That's the advantage of broadcast media. Kasi minsan ang newspaper delayed ang printing. So, how do I understand the sources of news? In presenting investigative stories, the reporter and the reader must be able to understand where the issue came from. Sabitan, saan galing ang issue? Are you sure about the issue? O baka marites lang yan? He said, she said, they said. Okay. Investigative news stories are presented through various channels, each with its own way of reporting events. Whether you are a print or broadcast reporter, you must be able to present the various news sources and understand the language used in the first-hand report. Kasi, di ba, mga source natin, minsan news na Binisaya, news na Tagalog, di ba? News na English, o Spanish, so, did we understand the language used in the first-hand report? Investigative journalists must know how to tell whether a news source is reliable. This means looking at how news is reported and what kind of information is shared. They must also apply and understand the simple present and past tenses often used in news reporting and why these tenses help convey information effectively. We leave digital footprints when we interact with news on social media or websites. But just like in the digital literacy, it is important to use the internet wisely when looking for news. In these modern times, my friends, we have easy access to all kinds of information. But it has also become harder to tell what is true and what is false. So let's talk about misinformation. Misinformation means false information is spread by mistake, and disinformation is a false information spread on purpose to mislead people. These are now common in news outlets, social media, and websites. So how do we spot this kind of things? How do we learn? We need to learn how to spot misinformation, how to spot disinformation. It is very important in if we want to be a real investigative journalist. Some simple steps to help us identify false news. Spotting misinformation requires careful attention and a critical mind. By checking the source, verifying the information, examining the headline and language, assessing the source reputation. Ano ba ang reputation ng source natin? And bias. Is there bias? And using fact-checking organization, we should be able to fact-check. These are needed for a more informed and responsible news presentation. In today's world, my friends, being vigilant against misinformation and disinformation is critical or crucial to maintain in order that we can maintain the truth and accuracy in journalism. So, we shall begin the activities. Number one, check the source. Are the sources trustworthy? Start by looking at where the news story comes from. Saan galing ito? Asakin ka. Reliable news outlets follow strict rules to be sure that the story is correct and fair. Look for well-known sources like major newspapers, TV networks, and news agencies. Let us be careful with news from unknown websites, blogs, or social media accounts without verified credentials. Then we verify the information. How? We cross-check before you believe or share on a news story that adds up to your investigative report. Make sure to check if it is accurate, compare the information with other sources to see if it's true. If only one source reports or there is no supporting evidence, it might be unrealistic. So we shall look for codes, statistics, and data that back up the news. And then we examine the headline also. Beware of sensational headlines. Misinformation often has eye-catching headlines. Yung mga misinformation, may catching headlines yan na ginagawa. It is meant to attract attention. Kahit hindi totoo, it will attract your attention. Check if the headline seems exaggerated or unbelievable. An expert gave an example on this headline. Scientists discover fountain of youth. Drink this one juice and live forever. Sabi mo, labi na, at sika na headline yun. Pero totoo ba yun? Misleading headlines might not represent the article, its content accurately. So we shall always read the full article to understand the complete story. And then we assess the tone and language. Emotional language. What is it? Notice the tone and words used in the article. Misinformation might use emotional provocatives. Will provoke your emotions. Or sensationalized or sensational languages will provoke strong reactions. An example of this kind of headline from one of the experts says, these GMOs are poisoning our children. Protect your family now. Sinira niya pa yung GMOs. Was it supported by evidence? We never know. So, be cautious of articles that try to scare or anger people. Reliable news presents facts in a neutral and balanced way. And then we evaluate the source reputation. What is the history of the source? Do you have any knowledge of its history? Think about the reputation of the source. Anong klaseng tao to na source? Anong klaseng organization? Does it have a good reputation? Has it posted false or biased information before? Is it known for honest and accurate journalism? Be skeptical of news from sources with a history of misinformation and disinformation. Because this kind of news, skeptical news, influence how viewers understand people and events. How should reporters report events? Print and broadcast news reporters make multiple decisions. You have multiple decisions about how you will go about with your report, how you will write the report, or events that occur. This will include who to interview, which perspective will you present, which camera angles to use for capturing footage, and which audio to record. These decisions, my friends, structure how viewers think about the causes and consequences of events that you are reporting. So reporters of the news are obligated to maintain journalistic integrity at all times. They are not supposed to take sides or show bias in written or verbal reporting. They are expected to apply those principles as they write news articles. Take news photographs and participate. Take news photographs also and participate in press conferences. Important pala yan to participate in press conferences. Reporters and news organizations make a strategic and business-minded decision about how to report events. But there's a question. Is there a bad news bias? Narinig nun ba yung itong bad news bias? Does media have a bad news bias? Do you find a bad news bias in the media you read or watch? Are some topics covered more negatively or positively than others? Social scientists said that media coverage had a bad news bias of the COVID pandemic during 2020 and 2021. They said, examining news coverage from CNN, Fox News, New York Times, social media, researchers found out that coverage in the U.S. were more heavily negative, because they only emphasize rising cases, but they downplay the impacts of vaccines. Sensationalized. Pila na patay, daga na kayo patay. Wasag ni may shooting sa ang pagsugpuan ng COVID pandemic. Bakit mo tagay pili ang information on the vaccines, the necessity to go to the hospital and take their vaccine. Dagan na ba kayo wala nagpa-vaccine? Diba? So that's it. Social scientists then concluded that news organizations were giving readers and viewers what they want, and that is more negatively rather than positively in stories. This is bad news bias. Gusto nyo bad news talaga lang. May bias kayo para sikat at makaka-attract sa readers. Decide. And then we uncover issues that influential people want to keep secret, lalo na yung kasama sa atlas. Some people have trust issues, lalo na mga politiko. They can trust anyone with their secret. Some people fear that if the other person will understand them or not. Journalists and investigators who focus on crime and corruption like energy conservation, environmental issues, they operate in a very dangerous space. Kasi yung kontra nila, mga sindikato, mga kriminal, yung nagkakwari, di ba? Sinisira nila ang ating riverbed, ang Cagayan River, because of quarrying, and yet they were allowed because of commission ng politiko, money. Did anybody investigate why these were allowed? Wala pa ako na nabasa. And then, we talk about data journalism. Ito yung tutulong sa atin if we are going to report on crimes against environmental conservation. Data journalism is used in uncovering crimes and corruption that are important to the people, like the environmental issue. There is a lot of trade data and open source commercial data available for investigating the trafficking of natural resources. Quarry, diba? Trafficking yan ng natural resources. For example, when there are major discrepancies, you have to put all the clues together. Put all the clues together. Creatively to come up with the picture. Media's expose on corrupt practices and both the government and private sector is crucial. Why? To foster transparency and accountability. Ultimately, media expose benefits society as a whole. Think of that. What you will be doing accurately and positively will have an impact on society as a whole. Corruption in public governance can manifest in various forms. What are these? Bribery, embezzlement, nepotism, and other illegal and unethical activities that impacts on the economic growth of our country, impacts also on social justice and public trust. So we gather supporting evidences also when the story, our story is challenged. First, we gather supporting evidences. When our story is challenged, we should gather supporting evidences that involve conflicting information that verify the events or claims within the story. This may include factual details, witness testimonies of witnesses, and any other documentation that will help us establish the veracity of our investigative story. How do we gather evidence? These are the types of evidence. Factual details. This includes specific data, time, location, and other verifiable information that supports the story. And then witness testimonies, another type of evidence. We gather accounts from people who witnessed or were involved in the events described in the story. Involved actually. Physical evidence. Any tangible objects or documents that can corroborate your story, such as photographs, videos, emails, or contracts, documents. And then we need expert opinions. We seek input from experts in relevant fields to provide us analysis or interpretation of the evidence. Data and statistics. We use quantifiable data or statistical information to support claims or arguments within the story. Some writers even use anecdotes and stories. They share personal experiences or narratives that provide context or support for the main story. What are the methods for gathering evidence? Inquiry. Mag-i-inquire. We ask questions to gather information from witnesses or other sources. Number 2, analysis. Examine your evidences to draw conclusions and identify patterns. Observation. Directly observe events or situations to gather first-hand information. Inspection. Examine physical objects or documents to gather evidences. Confirmation, verify information from multiple sources that confirms their side of the issues. To ensure accuracy, by this we will ensure accuracy and reliability of our story and our sources. Re-performance means replicating events or processes to demonstrate how things happen or to confirm results. Importance of supporting evidences. What are the importance of supporting evidences? It establishes credibility. Evidence enhances the credibility of the story and helps to build trust in the storyteller, to build trust in you. It supports claims. Evidences provides the foundation for arguments and helps to persuade the audience of the story's validity. It addresses challenges. When a story is challenged, evidence can be used to refute, counter arguments, and strengthen the original narrative. It provides context. Evidence can help to provide context and understanding of the events and their significance. It also ensures accuracy. Evidence helps to ensure that your story is accurate and truthful by avoiding the spread of misinformation and disinformation. Okay, now we will flash the questions that you're going to work on, please. Yeah, and you can also interact with the facilitator, will be introduced later. And me, you want to ask the
so na ay mga seat work na ni mga commissioner nung kay para na
so,
mahasa gid ang ato ang nahibaluan.
Those questions.
So balik lang later mga commissioner para na pud sa next na speaker. So wala siya mga commissioner ang topic pod ni Sir Alan Malio Mediante.